This is Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories. I'm here today with Deanna Carr with the Mystical Moonlight. Hey, Deanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Today we're just gonna clean up some of the Q&A, the random questions we've been getting about previous videos or basically new topics. Okay, so
Hmm.
thought we just clean that up and then we could go forward with new topics next time we meet. All right.
Okay.
So we had done a video about the Edmund Fitzgerald, which sank. And basically, you had told us that there was a bomb planted by someone that was in the crew, and the ship
Hmm.
basically went down very quickly. And it was done on purpose to kill some of the passengers. All right.
Yes.
And of course, we know that this was a cargo ship. And normally it wouldn't have these passengers. But like I said, when I was researching this topic, it did talk about very plush rooms for a cargo ship. And I thought, well, that's weird. It also talked about, the article talked about how great the chef was on board. And again, it's a cargo ship. Who cares, right? All right. So that seemed a little shady. So here are the questions. Were,
I know where this is
was
going.
there any nefarious cargo on board itself of the ship?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah. So as soon as you started mentioning, it's like instant download. Um, yes, the cargo ship was destroyed because there was passengers on board, but the ship itself was being used in bad situations, meaning sex trafficking.
trafficking.
The reason they're talking about these rooms is specifically for that in itself. Um, and they're using these, I don't know, ways to describe the room so people that are of, that nature know exactly what they're saying. So they're not going to talk about, hey, come here, do this. They're saying it in a way that seems like, it's kind of weird, but you don't really bring up, too many questions. And when they talk about chef, they're not really talking about a chef that is cooking regular food.
Oh, dang it.
Hmm.
Okay, got you. Okay, so sometimes when we're doing these little videos, I'm asking questions and it doesn't exactly go the way I thought it was. So
Hmm.
sometimes I don't have the right questions ready. And it is usually how we ask the questions, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yes, probably that. So what you're saying is, and we know that the Great Lakes is a big like trafficking area that
Hmm.
all the borders around our country and pretty much everywhere are used for trafficking ports. So you're saying that the Edmund Fitzgerald was used as a trafficking vessel slash vehicle.
Yes.
And normally there would be trafficked humans on board that might have met with nefarious endings.
Yes, because I mean, it's stuff that's coming out now is they're being, shipped in these containers. So a cargo ship, what's it going to hold? And then, having these privatized rooms, um, and then people are paying excess to stay in them. So, it's just there's a lot that was going on that boat. But like I said, it did go down because those people were specifically being targeted. Um, that everything that's, come into light right now, are they being targeted because of what they were doing or because somebody wanted them out? And that's the big question. They were being targeted for what they were, well, actually, there's two targets. The boat was targeted because of what they were doing. And then the people were targeted because not what they were doing, but what they were going to do. What does that mean? All right, so what was it three people? Three people, they were getting targeted for what they were going to do. So it sounds like there was some sort of deal in place, or they were about to push something into place that somebody else did not want to go into place.
Right. Right.
Being followed through, kind of like the Titanic, but not as serious. of a repercussion for everybody. It's more on a business basis. Like it looks like these people were going to sign a deal with somebody else, meaning millions of dollars wouldn't go to them, it would go to somebody else.
Ah,
So they wanted to cut that deal off so it goes to them instead.
okay. And did that actually happen? Do you know if that happened?
It did not like their plan went into place. Like it didn't go through,
Okay.
so they kept what they wanted.
All right. Now, the deep state person was a crew member that planted the bomb, right?
Yes.
Right. Were they under MK Ultra or did they willingly commit suicide?
I'm getting MK Ultra.
Ah, so basically they planted the bomb and didn't 100% know what they were doing, and then, of course, lost their
Hmm.
lives. All
Yeah.
right. So did everyone on board truly lose their lives?
It looks like one or two survived, but altered, meaning that they barely survived and that they needed, help living.
Oh. Oh, okay. So they were like injured severely,
Yeah. Yes.
and
But
some.
everybody else died. Um, the main targets were taken out.
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying is those that planted the bomb wanted to kill these at least three individuals that were going to
Hmm.
sign a deal that would divert money away from the bad guys, we'll call them, okay?
Yeah.
Were these three individuals, like we'll call them basically good? Were they trying to do the right thing?
They were trying to bring some light to some situations. They were
Mhm.
trying to, show the background, meaning everything that was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
When these companies do these major deals, usually you only see what they want you to see. They want you to see all the good stuff because then you're gonna, work with them, buy from them, whatever it is. So they were trying to bring some light to the situation. That way, when they would get what they wanted, which was changing the deal to, their company because they were going to be better. Um, it doesn't look like they were necessarily there for to partake. It looks like they were there to expose in a sense and bring the meeting there so that way they could see everything that happens.
Okay.
Um, and it looks very complex.
Okay. Was there more than three people in their party, but only three people were involved in the decision or the exposure or whatever you want to call that?
um, three people were in the main exposure. There's actually supposed to be more in the meeting. The three were part of the, let's say, the main company.
Okay.
But they were supposed to meet with, let's call them the buyers, people that they were trying to change their minds.
Okay.
Um, but it looks like everything happened before the meeting took place.
Okay. All right. So that adds a little bit more detail to the story that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Hmm.
Is there anything else along these lines? We talked about the cargo, so there were definitely human trafficking,
Hmm.
humans being trafficked.
Yeah.
Anything else we should know about this ship or this accident?
I don't think so. Let's say. It looks like there's still some evidence on the boat, meaning it looks, or around the boat at least, like there's some sort of the explosive device that wasn't fully recovered. And they
Gotcha.
thought it just like disappeared
Yeah, yeah.
after
Okay.
that.
And
Mhm.
if they did find it, they would probably cover that up anyway, right? So,
They would cover it up or, and, being so long, it could look a lot different than it did back then.
of course.
So would they really notice what it is? Maybe not.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Mhm.
All right, next topic is Houdini again. So we talked about Harry Houdini. Okay, so summary of
Hmm.
his life. He was very poor, and he was like, it sounded like he was like very creative and inventive on ways to make money. So
Hmm.
he ended up starting out with card tricks, and then he became famous. I think it was in London by doing some sort of a trick where he got out of a specially made pair of handcuffs that supposedly could never be opened. Okay. One of the things he's also known for is creating the American Society of Magicians. And basically, what we said before is he was using that society to scout out people or individuals with true magical or supernatural abilities.
Yes.
All right. So he was supposed to scout them out, and have you got a clue what he like? He was supposed to report them or whatever, but to whom? Do you happen to know?
That's a good question. Okay, so I'm getting the word the high ups
Okay.
and what the information they're giving me about that. Hold on. Sorry, it's a lot going on. Okay, so give me 1 second. It's like so much chatter right now. Okay, I'm just gonna channel the high ups. They're a group and organization that are trying to find beings, one, so they can steal energy and power from them. These beings that are stealing this power are using it to create, oh my gosh, it's like overwhelming. Um, it's looking like some sort of mechanism, but to do what? Right. They're using it to create some sort of mechanism. They need the energy source from these beings to power it. This mechanism is going to go off and it is going to take the energy from other beings around and surround them with different force fields, altering their DNA sourcing, pretty much taking their energy and altering it to this powerful weapon, i.e., they're taking their lives. Then, when this thing is sourced, they are going to take it planet to planet, ripping energy from other beings so that way they can source the energy, creating their own magic, and then being able to take the energy and destroying the planet all at the same time. By using this energy, they are going to take over worlds. They want to be like the world's eater, but since they have no magic, they don't know how to do that. So that's why they're looking out for this. They're called the high ups because they don't want people to know their true identities. It is a group of, I'm getting 50 individuals now. Um, how do they dress? Interesting. Black suit, white tie. Do they really wear a hat like that? Um, I don't know if they still wear a hat, but I guess maybe this is from when they used to. It's kind of like a bowl hat, the bowler hat, whatever you want to call
Oh.
it, where it's curved. Um, they said they wore this to distinguish themselves from others, especially with the time frame being top hats are a very popular style. Um, what else? Are they still around? Yes, they are still around. They are still trying to source energy. Did the plan go as followed? No, it did not end up being successful. They were able to alter, or somebody was able to alter the plan, and it is no longer functioning like it should. Okay, what does that mean? So whatever this mechanism is specifically built, somebody actually altered the structure of it so it doesn't actually function on the right capability or capacity. So even if they got this energy and or magic from these people, it would misfire and it wouldn't do what it is expected and would be created as a smaller sort of bomb, taking the high ups out versus their mission. Um, that's it.
So it sounds like the plan has been foiled because it's going to backfire on them.
Yes.
So they
So
plan.
it looks like they're still trying, but it's taken them longer than expected because they don't have the full understanding of how to make it themselves. So it looks like they had somebody else create it while this person was creating it. They made some altercations they didn't understand. So that person is no longer there and they don't know how to fix it.
Okay. And so these people are still alive. Are they human?
No. They're
Reptilian?
they're a mix. It
Okay.
looks like they are part human, but a very small percentage.
Okay. Wow. When I think of bowler hat, I think of England, like
Yeah.
formal kind of attire. Like I
Mhm.
know we had it here in the US as well, but thank you. Okay, so Houdini's wife was a psychic medium. And we all kind of we implied that she was a charlatan last
Yeah.
time, that
Yeah.
she didn't know what she was doing and she was just doing it for the money. So I kind of feel like she wasn't a good person in general.
Yeah, I think we talked about her doing dark magic.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
agree with all of that. Okay. Just wanted to
Oh yeah,
summarize.
definitely. She
Yeah,
she doesn't no, no,
yeah. So
no.
she was just trying to get, the money and the power, control, fame, or whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Is she the one that might have gotten Houdini mixed up with the wrong people?
Yeah, she had this driving force and they did work well together, but she could sense how desperate he was in some ways. And she kind of used that to the best of her ability because she could see the possibilities. And so she was able to manipulate and move things in the order that she saw fit to gain the popularity, the energy, the money, anything that they desired. And then she used the mixture of her dark magic to keep it going. And then obviously after he passed, she wanted to keep all that moving still. So she was using, oh, he's coming through to me. So anything she could do to get more publicity and or, money from people is what she tried.
Okay. Okay. Um, all right. So what you're saying is when Houdini started the Society for American Magicians, he was supposed to report back to a group called the higher ups about who had special skills or powers. And these
Mhm.
higher ups were going to like entrap these people and use their energy slash maybe even take their lives. She created a device that would, I don't know, blow up planets or whatever. I don't, doesn't sound good. It
Suck out
wasn't,
energy.
yeah. Okay. So is is there a possibility that Houdini found out about that plan? Did he find out about the plan?
It
And
looks like yes, it was an accident.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so remember we talked about how he was really supposedly killed by being punched.
Yeah.
In like we all have a recollection of him being killed during a trick that he was doing, but
Mhm.
the story says that he was killed from being punched in the intestines or the gut, and he
Mhm.
basically died. Okay, a
Yeah.
couple days later. So, is there a chance then that he was killed by these higher ups or the dark forces, whatever you want to call them?
Yes.
All right.
And
And
it looks like, we talked about this before because we talked about, it's weird. Everybody knows that, like, well, at least we thought he, died from drowning, and being punched in the gut is a really weird way to die, especially if you're
totally,
not boxing,
totally.
like you're not a martial artist. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but we talked about the appendix and not like once we're talking about it and we're kind of putting the pieces together, it looks like there was actually poisoning in his system. So yes, a punch killed him, but it looks like his system was already failing.
Yeah.
And so that was just kind of like the pivotal point of, it's shutting down. So it just, times it out kind of nicely.
Right.
So instead of, thinking, hey, there's foul play, it was just, hey, this person punched him, his appendix exploded, not thinking, hey, there was actually this, substance with I'm getting some sort of tea, like he drank something on the regular and they used that against him.
Okay.
Um, they put it in that and it actually made that appendix explode. So when they did the autopsy, that's what it looked like, but it was
Ah,
actually caused by something else.
okay. So he was
What is it? I
killed.
don't know what type of poison.
Okay. So he was probably poisoned through drinking tea or whatever that looked
Mhm,
like an accident because they're really good at making that. And so he did by accident come across what they were doing. So the reason I'm asking that is when I spoke with B about this video a few weeks ago, he said that
mhm,
Houdini was killed because he found out what they were doing and was going to expose them. He said there was something to do with sacrifice and pedophilia as well in that group. All right.
mhm.
And it like when he said that to me, all I could think of is it's the wife's group. The wife is like um
Yeah, she, like I said, she practiced dark magic,
yeah,
and um, it's hard for people to understand how like serious that can be. Um, But when we get into it, she definitely had a group of people behind her that, are very controlling, but they're able to manipulate things the way that they want.
right.
And she wanted specific things, and she was able to manipulate him specifically to get what she wanted.
Got it. Got it. So it really sounds like Houdini really was truly wanted people to respect him as a magician, and he
Hmm.
really liked what he was doing. Like, yeah, and he did maybe have a backdoor on some of his tricks, which I can't say that I blame him. But
No, I think that it's necessary.
yeah, yeah. So it sounds like he wasn't an altogether bad guy, but he was just kind of in a situation.
Yeah, I think from the start, a lot of people that are impoverished and don't know how to get out of situations
Yeah,
will start to do things that they normally wouldn't to
yeah,
do,
yeah.
to get to where they want to be. And he started with the magic, and it was clean. It was, a way to express and be creative.
Right,
But I think he was blinded, which does happen to a lot of people, blinded by love and manipulated to ways that benefited her and whatever she was really doing. And I do see that for her, she just really wanted the fame and the power. I mean, just think about it. His name is still going around and her name's associated with it.
right. Exactly.
So she was gaining money, she was gaining access to stuff. I mean, it was pretty easy for her once it started going. And then you got to think the pivoting point is the show. So all she had to do is get it all set up so that once the show hits, it was successful, and all of her rituals and all that, negative stuff she was doing
Right,
started paying off.
right, right. It's kind of sad that he was killed because well, he was going to expose them. So,
Mhm.
anything else we should know about this story that isn't something I haven't asked yet? Is there anything further?
Oh, this is interesting. Um, it looks like she was supposed to have a child, and that was one of the sacrifices.
Oh, okay. So she willingly did that.
Hmm. Did he know? No, he did not know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did travel a little bit. Like, if I remember correctly, he was in Australia for like a month and he was here.
Mhm.
He traveled for his show and for his whatever he was doing. So,
Hmm.
She would have the opportunity to do whatever she wanted unless she accompanied him.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So that's how she got some of her energy, her power, or whatever through the sacrifice. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. So now these higher ups that we talk about with their
Mhm.
device, is there anything we have to worry about for Earth or any of the other planets or realities?
Well, if somebody comes to you in a bowler hat, don't give them services. Um,
Don't let them touch you.
yeah, right. No, right now it looks like they've been at a standstill for quite some time
Mhm.
because they don't know anybody that can reoperate the system. So as of right now, it looks like it's kind of flatlines. Um, for them and themselves, I do see them coming down. So their, let's say, organization isn't going to be around much longer.
Awesome. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll be working on that myself. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
going to help to take them down. So yay.
yeah,
Thanks for exposing that.
of course.
Yeah. Okay. Next topic. All right. From another video we did a while ago, Einstein. I was actually a
Mhm.
little surprised we didn't get more questions and comments about Einstein because again, in my mind, he was someone to be admired. I never ever thought he was corrupt until, of course, recently. And then when I
Mhm.
got to hit to do the video, I'm like, dang it, no. But
Yeah.
we didn't really get a lot of questions there. So to summarize the story, Einstein basically worked at a patent office. He was able to steal other people's ideas, promote them as his. He gained a notoriety and fame and fortune. So his reputation preceded him, all right, on his
Mhm.
genius level and all these things he invented or discovered or whatever you want to call it, which he
Yeah.
really didn't do any of. Okay, so he was basically using his fame to travel around the world and to use it as a spy. So,
Mhm.
especially on the US, but he went all over and people willingly gave him their secrets and their information and their technology because they just trusted him. He had this image of being such a good guy, right?
Yes.
All right. So what we had said, what we had talked about is his first wife basically ended up going out of the country with their child, and then the child was never seen again. So
Mhm.
I believe we said that the child was sacrificed, and
Yes.
he was involved in that. All right, his
Mhm.
group.
No. Yes.
Yeah. The wife was not really in that club. She didn't really know, but she might have had an inkling.
Hmm.
All right. So I want to just point that out to the viewer that might not believe what we're talking about. Einstein sacrificed his first child. Okay. All right. Was the first wife killed?
Yes. Afterwards.
Okay. All right. So then we know he had multiple wives, like at the same time, a lot of stuff that, the public hasn't been told. So he has done
Hmm.
a lot of things that were questionable at best. Was he a 30, oh my golly, 33-degree Mason?
Yes.
Okay. So he was basically in the club of the sacrifice, the dark magic, the dark
Hmm.
practices, and all of that. He was very knowledgeable about that. So he was more heavily involved in the deep state than we originally discussed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to know about that story? Because I wanted to just promote this to people. Like, we weren't as forthcoming about, the negative details as maybe we should have been. Like, he was not a good guy, is what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah, sometimes I try to be a little more subtle, I guess. So I guess maybe I be more blunt about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, he knew what he was doing. He, you know, he wanted a lifestyle. You got to think about the time frame.
yeah,
And how was he going to do it?
right.
He saw his way and he went for it. And yes, he there was sacrifice, and in his mind, better them than me. So he was on board with everything. And then it also gave him so much fame and popularity, so it wasn't really a lose for him because he could do whatever he wanted and he was fine.
Right. Right. It seems unfair, though, that he's painted as such an asset to the world when in fact, he was the
Mhm.
opposite of that. He caused so
Yeah.
much pain and chaos, not only with the individual sacrifices within his own family, but look
Mhm.
at he stole information that caused, greater weapons to be developed and built and used
Mhm.
against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy for them to do that type of thing where they can just, start changing the chess match. They
Yeah.
can make it how they want it, and then they use it against whoever.
Right.
And he was an easy asset. I mean, they gained a lot from him, and in reality, what did it really cost them? I mean, not that much. He was, pretty willing.
Yeah. So we in our mind we think, oh, that was way back when. That would never happen now. Okay, it was 60 or 70 years ago, 80 years ago. Are you guys kidding me? It happens all the time, right? We think we have such great stringent security. Oh no. People are manipulated and lied to all the time for their own benefit. So this is
Mhm.
just one example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything further we should talk about with Einstein?
I feel like we covered everything. I mean,
Yeah.
if, like I said, if people have questions, but I feel like we've got everything with that one.
Cool. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you very, very much for your time. I really
Of
appreciate
course.
it. All right. See you next time.
See it. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.